Hey everyone, this is Mujahid from Artboard Studio. In this video, I am going to show you how animation feature works with Artboard Studio. Just go to templates and pick a template that you want to animate. You will realize there is a button on top that says animation. If you click the animation button, you will open the timeline editor. You can also do the same thing from the bottom here. Timeline, open the timeline editor or collapse the timeline editor. Let's zoom out on my canvas and move something. In order to move items, you have to select on the canvas, and as you see, it's being selected on my layers panel, also selected in my timeline editor. And there is a border, purple border, represents that you need to add a start point in order to animate. Now select the item, add a start point, set your time, and move it. Now I have created two keyframes, and this notebook comes from here to here in 1 second. If you go to the first frame and hit the play button, now you have animated the notebook. You will see position X and position Y keyframes. Also, if you go to the right sidebar and see the object settings here, my position X and my position Y became purple, which means you can animate any values listed here, like scale, rotate, opacity, or the label, the mockup label opacities as you want. If you want to make your animation faster or slower, you just change the duration. Just drag to the left, you are making your animation faster. This orange buttons here represents the animation type. If you open that menu, you will see lots of easy options. You can easily make a search on Google for CSS animations or easy animations in order to preview, or you can experience them by yourself. Let's add another animation. Let's say I want to move it from here to here, but also I want to make it this notebook bigger. So at this point, I want to make this scale up a little bit more. As you see, it's automatically added my keyframes scale X and scale Y. If I go back and play the animation again, my notebook will move to the bottom and also scaling up a little bit more. So let's say I want to make this scale animation slower, so I'm just dragging the timeline here. Now hit the play again. You see it's scaling slower. In order to change the animation type, ease in type, you can click this button, but also if you want to change all of them here, just right click the purple timeline here and select preset layer ease. Let's choose ease in cubic, which makes my animation start faster and end slower. Go to the first frame, hit the play button. Now, as you see, my animation starts faster but ends slower. If you want to remove any type of keyframes for an item, click and select the timeline you want and right click and remove selected keyframe. Now I removed my scale animation. As you see, my scale just became the normal input. If I go back to the first frame and hit the play button, now it's only moving from top to the bottom. If you want to update the current position of your animation, you have to select the timeline. Let's say instead of coming from this part to here, I want this notebook come from out of the canvas. So move it out of the canvas and you updated this timeline, this keyframe. So if I hit the play button again, now my notebook comes from out of the canvas somewhere here to this point. And let's say I want to change the end position too. As you see, if I select my timeline, it becomes white. So whatever I do here, let's say instead of this part, I want to move this notebook from to here. So go back to the first frame, hit the play. Now my notebook goes to this part. If you want to animate another item, just select, add a start point, and do your first keyframe, change the time, and let's say move it back here. Now this yellow fabric back will come into the scene out of the canvas. Go to the first frame, hit the play button. Now it comes from out of the canvas. And let's say I didn't like this linear animation, it looks really solid. Just right click, preset layer ease, and choose any other ease in option. Now my tote fabric back will start animating differently. If you didn't like it, just choose another ease in option. Let's go with ease in out cubic. Go back to the first frame, hit play. Now, as you see, the back ends slowly. And let's say I want to make it slower. So I'm dragging the timeline and making more in order to make my animation slower. For each different item, we have different animation options. For example, for a mockup item, you can animate your design label opacity. But if you have a shape item in your scene, let's add a circle here. If you want to animate the, let's say you want to change the color, you just add a start point, set your time, and change the color. Now my circle will fade from white to the blue really slowly, like you see here. So I can make it faster or slower. I can change the layer order anytime. Let's put this circle to the back, like you're designing normally in Artboard Studio. Go back to the first frame, hit the play. Now my circle becomes white, from white to blue. My notepad and taut fabric back mockup moves from left to right and comes into the scene. Another thing for the text. In text, you have different properties like font size, line height, letter spacing. You can also animate them too. Let's go to the first frame, or you don't have to go to the first frame. Just add a start point here, and here I want to make my font size bigger. Now I added 2 keyframes automatically. If I go back to the first frame, I play the animation, my text here, my font size started getting bigger, you see. Let's remove these items from my scene. Now another thing in the interface, the duration. Right now my animation in 5 seconds, which means 5,000 milliseconds. If I drag this blue indicator here, I can change the duration of my animation. Then I hit the export animation button here and waiting for my video to be rendered. You don't need to wait for a queue in Artboard Studio. You just have your video in seconds. Now you can download your video in WebM formats, other formats, and audio input coming really soon. If you click download video button here, you just download the video to your desktop. And this WebM format is for browsers. You can upload this video to YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, anywhere you want, because the WebM format is for browsers. So it plays smoothly in your browser. There are lots of video format converters on web, so you can easily convert WebM videos into any other video formats like MP4. If you're done with your export, but you want to keep making animation, you just click back to project button here. Now you have your animation and you can do any changes you want. You can animate any item you want with any time duration. Right now this feature in beta, as you see it says beta features. We are looking for your feedback and questions. If you have any problems, please do not hesitate to click help button here if you have any questions and start a new conversation. Looking forward to hear from you. See you later.